Keller once said, "The only thing worse than being blind is having sight with no vision." Over and over again, society has told me this, but what if it's those with sight but no vision who are ignorant of the blind? As a senior in high school who happens to be legally blind, I, of all people, know how full this world is of blind ignorance. With ignorance comes stereotypes. Now, when you heard me say that I'm blind, what was your first thought? If you thought,
You must be joking. You don't look blind. You must have super senses.
I assure you, you're not the only one. But then my question is, what does blind look like? It's estimated that in the United States alone, about 25 million adults have a visual impairment, and yet only 2% fit the stereotype of using a white cane or a guide dog. Society has put this idea in our heads that blind is just one thing, an adjective to describe someone who sees
pitch black, darkness, wearing dark sunglasses to cover their gross milky eyes with a white cane or a guide dog, wandering around this world just helpless. But this is a lie.
legally. According to the U.S. government, being legally blind is considered having a visual acuity of 2200 or worse, with best correction.
So no, that doesn't mean that you, with your glasses, who sees 20/20 with them on, but 2200 with them off, is blind, because your glasses correct your vision. 2200 vision means that what a person with regular eyesight could see from 200 feet away, someone who is legally blind would have to be about 20 feet away just to see.
However, blindness is a spectrum, with all of us having varying levels of sight, and no two of us with the same vision.
This spectrum could be anything from just light perception to vision in only one eye to tunnel vision where you can only see what is directly in front of you.
Just like every other human being, we're unique to ourselves. We don't all need guide dogs. We don't all need white canes. We don't all wear dark sunglasses or baggy clothes. And most importantly, we're not helpless. The word disability just refers to the fact that someone can't walk, hear, see, or easily understand social cues, but in no way does that mean that we can't live our lives to the fullest.
I mean, come on. I can be whatever I want to be. Well, okay. Maybe with the exception of an Uber driver.
But even so, I could become the engineer who creates the technology to have a self-driving car, but yet, according to the National Federation of the Blind, approximately 75% of all blind adults in the United States are unemployed. Now, about 60% of all blind college students are going to drop out, and it's estimated that about 30% of all blind adults in the U.S. are living below the poverty line. Why is this? Because society doesn't believe in us enough to give us an opportunity to succeed. We deserve an opportunity to succeed and people to believe in us. When was the last time you saw something on the news or on Facebook or even just being brought up in class about a disabled person and the struggles they face because of the way society perceives them? It's probably been a while, if ever. And I have to say this. If you think that you're open-minded and accepting, please double check yourself. Are you really, or are you more concerned with being called open-minded and accepting? Because as I've learned from being called the blind kid most of my life, you're so much more than a label. It doesn't matter if people call you open-minded and accepting, it just matters how you act in the world.
Help break down these stereotypes by educating yourself, spreading the truth and the facts throughout your daily life and in the world of social media.
And be aware of how you treat others. Be accommodating. This world isn't made for disabled people, but with communication, it's really not that difficult, especially with all the technology we have today. Just a few taps of a button may be all you have to do. It's time to break down these stereotypes and build a more accessible, accepting, and accommodating world.